Hi ladies, welcome to Let Her Talk. Here you will discover about the power within ourselves. You will listen amazing stories of women who decided to be athlete of their own life. Some of them inside of the mat, some of them outside of the mat. And then you also gonna learn about how to defend yourself, but not just use physical strength. Stay tuned. So here we are with Ellie today. Welcome to Let Her Talk. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you here as my first guest. So it's an honor to have you here, well, Ellie.
I feel so privileged.
Ellie as well, she's a therapist. She's going to talk a little bit with us today, her travel to Bali. So I just want to know a little bit, like, why did you decide to go to Bali? You lived your whole life here in Ireland, and then you went over there last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So tell a little bit to us about.
Well, have you seen the weather outside?
Yeah. Why? Well, the question why was a little bit tricky.
So I have been there I did my yoga teacher training out there in 2018 and fell in love with the place. It's incredible. And then I was like, why not? It's one of those things that if you decide to do it, you can do it. But if you never make that decision, I would still be here.
Yeah.
So I just made a decision. I'm going to make it work. And it did. And my life my quality of life is so high. There's purpose-built training facilities and a lot of people working online, same as myself. And it's a wonderful community, wonderful people, wonderful weather.
Very good.
It's a no-brainer. It's hard, missing home and stuff like that. I'm sure you know what that's like, but I'll take the pros.
I would say it's the best thing that I've done in my life because you just get to know a new culture, a different place. You learn so much in a short period of time, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is like being on a fast track and meeting so many different people and hearing their stories and it's and seeing the different cultures. Actually, it's really interesting as well. Like, it's amazing.
Very open in your mind, isn't it?
Yeah, big time.
And then you started BJJ here, right?
Yeah, actually, do you know what? I've been doing it 5 years. On and off, I guess, through COVID and everything like that. And yeah, I got a notion in my head. I think someone mentioned to me about it and I looked into it and SBG Nace had just opened. And it was down the road for me. So I walked in and they've been amazing. And it's very funny I'm a dyslexic and it really shows in my jiu-jitsu. I'm slower to learn with that. And I could cover that up in so many other areas of my life, but I couldn't cover it up in jiu-jitsu.
Right. Things just
so
it's really longer. Like the true sport jiu-jitsu. It is like it shows like your pros and cons and how you can challenge yourself to be better on that specific point.
Yeah, I love the challenge that it gives me. And the fitness as well. Like, I don't have the attention span to lift that many weights in a gym to get that fit. But when you're fighting for your life on the mats, like, you get really fit.
I lost too. I keep it, all the ladies come to me like, I will do it, then I check 1 or 2 classes. And then straight away I was like, you will get addicted. You will see yourself in the gym because you want to get stronger because of BJJ. And most of the ladies saying like, oh no, I don't have the body for it. I'm too skinny. I'm like too tall. But everything will comes with it. You just need to start, right?
You need to just walk in the door. Then it's done. Like, it's actually, the jiu-jitsu is not necessarily the hard part. It's to get yourself to walk in the door of the gym.
Yeah. And then a just little question for you on that topic still. What hooked you in BJJ? Like, what made you to stay? What was that point?
Is I was big into yoga at the time. Obviously, I'm a yoga teacher. And I was like, it showed that there was like a lot of functional movement in jiu-jitsu, which I'm not sure about now because like I'm quite stiff and sore all the time. But I thought, I was like, that'll complement my yoga. Which is
Okay.
like with the functional movement, and it'll be interesting. I love to learn a sport while I'm exercising, because I need to keep my mind active. And I one class and I was like, that's it. Like, everything about that, I need to come back, I need more. And it made like, I do less yoga, I do more jiu-jitsu.
I know. I have been questioning myself as well.
It's my
that all the
meditation.
time, yeah.
So when I walk into the gym, my mind resets. So you're fully present. You're not thinking about work. You're not thinking about, did I leave something on, did I leave the immersion on? All that kind of stuff. When you're in the gym, you're just in the gym. You're nothing else.
Yeah, you're in the present moment.
It's meditation.
And then you see like we are doing this meditating, yoga in many, many ways. And then when you come outside, it's so hard to be present. So you are a therapist. It's a practice, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need to try to be present in every single thing that you do, actually to make things work and then be less frustrated outside of your life, right?
It's the number one advice that I would give people. And I'm a holistic therapist, but it's the number one is to even carve out an hour per week, which is actually really hard for people, that they're in a present state.
Yeah.
We're never living there.
Yeah.
And it's and that's how problems like start in your life, is you're in the future or you're in the past.
Yeah, I have read a book called The Miracle Morning. I don't know if you have heard about it. It's a fantastic book. And he keeps saying, like, even though when you do your breakfast, like a lot of people, it's already still on their phones or like distracted with something else. And instead of just be on that present moment, be aware what's going on outside. Even the smell of your coffee, it's so important to actually be present and feel it. And in terms of athlete, if you don't recognize yourself, if you don't recognize day to day this challenge that you actually overcoming or present moments that you enjoy, you'll never be able to celebrate things that will happen in your life, right?
It's the little things that matter.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah. But I brought you for something else here. I know your journey. I just want to the other ladies know as well. I know Bali has been amazing to you, all the weather, but was one specific challenge over there that you happened to you that I really want to know more about it.
So Bali is a very safe place. And to be fair, I had got quite complacent while I was there, because it is very, like, I'm not messing. If you leave your bag down, it's still going to be there. If you leave the key in the scooter, which I've done many times, it will still be there.
Okay.
And you get used to that. I walked down a dark street going back to my house, but I had to go over to Thailand for a week. And with that complacency, I walked down a dark street to go to the shop, and on my way back this dark street, someone came up behind me and grabbed me. Some man came up behind me and grabbed me. And it was, the scariest thing was I didn't hear him coming. I didn't hear his footsteps whatsoever. And there was no one around. Like, even if I did scream, no one was going to hear it.
Okay.
Darkness, never seen his face even as well. But thankfully, thanks to Jiu Jitsu, I was able to keep my cool. I was able to go 2-on-1.
Yeah, okay.
Turn away and tell him to back off and stay away from me, and he did. I still never seen his face. I just knew it was a tall, fat man.
Wow.
And because it was so dark, like when he backed away, I couldn't see the face.
And what made you, like, was you just recognize he was close to you because of your intuition, or because
he grabbed me, like,
just
to
grab
pick me?
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I grabbed onto my dress, and because we work like back takes and stuff like that from standing, it was a familiar, like, I knew what to do straight away. I just didn't panic. I didn't go into fight or flight.
Okay. Because you already used to training.
I know what to do here. Maybe I went into fight, not flight, but like, but okay. I know, because in other situations, I mean, me myself, if I have to make a phone call, my brain can just shut off with anxiety and stuff. But in this situation, I was able to keep my cool and get away safely, because it could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
There's still the knock on, things like when I got back, I was looking over my shoulder 24/7.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. but I'm so grateful like it wasn't worse.
Yeah, because it's funny because I always try to not promote jiu-jitsu only for self-defense.
It's so much more.
And then it's so much more. And then that's the point that I want to know from you as well. Before, like what exactly came to your mind at that moment? Because like, what do you think? Like, I need to posture up, I need to run away, or I need to take this hand off and then run away. What exactly was in your head? Or actually was action and react? You didn't think about anything else?
Yeah, it was like, oh, something's wrong.
Okay.
And then it was act.
Yeah.
And straight away, I knew go to him when you get instinctively. I didn't have to think about getting away. I actually knew the movement. Because you know, and that's my favorite thing about jiu-jitsu is once you get something, once the movement's in your body, it stays there.
Yeah.
You know what to do. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something that I say to the ladies as well. Like, it's not just one class. It's not that you come to a workshop or like I always do workshops to actually orientate those girls a possibility of safety place, but not that you're going to learn only in one workshop or two workshops. It's a life training. You train 5 years. I train 12 years. Like I keep saying, like if someone gets to choke me, please God, no. But it's straight away, okay, let me put my chin down and everything, because you practice every time. And you as a therapist, what's the explanation for it that you can say to the ladies as well? For like, let me explain this better. So in that situation, like why it's important to train every time, that's variation of movements. When this happens, actually you react.
Because your body reaction is going to be quicker than your mind in this situation.
Okay.
Your mind hasn't realized what's happening. Bear in mind, in that situation, it was dark. I can't, you know, your mind goes to who is that? And then
I don't know this person.
By the time your mind recognizes that's a stranger, my body was already reacting.
Lovely,
with knowing what to do. If I went into fight or flight and I screamed and dropped to the floor, I could have been dragged to the side of the road.
Okay.
Do you know?
Yeah.
But because I put up a fight, to get away, I think that made him back off.
Okay.
Like the fight was what saved me. What my body was able to do was what saved me.
Yeah.
Really, it was.
And then you got the distance after. And did you say something to him or?
Stay the fuck away from me.
We're working assertive communications here as well. Yeah. So it's just, and that's what made him to go far away from you.
And I washed and I backed off, and then I scurried back to.
Yeah.
I was 200 meters from my apartment at the time.
Yeah. And that's a confidence as well. Like, and what's like that leading to another question that I have for you. What do you think the confidence, like what's the role of confidence played over there when you're in that situation? Because we're confident that you know the movement, you are confident what to do, you didn't panic, you did the right thing because you escaped from it. So what was the role of confidence over there?
Like, I actually can't say enough about it because I walk down the street confidently. Confidence lets me do all the things that I want to go and do. You know, it's only the voice in my head that tells me I can't. When you have the confidence to do something, people will believe in your confidence. And my confidence saved me there too. Everything that I thought in my head about my capabilities came true.
Lovely.
It was proof.
Okay.
It was proof that I actually could handle myself, that I could deal with situations. It's a big learning experience. You think, oh, don't go down a dark street again. I'm gonna end up down a dark street again. That's life. Like it's gonna be the only road.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I'm still gonna walk down it, and I know I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let that kind of stop me in my life.
Stopping you.
Yeah.
Just come back to, in terms of the confidence and how you walk at the street. I want to be comparison here. Before you started BJJ, even though you were a therapist, you expect a therapist, like she's the most confident woman, like she knows how the mind works and everything. I want to, like, two comparison here. Before Jiu Jitsu, after Jiu Jitsu.
So I was always a brave individual. Like I grew up horse riding. If you get thrown off if you get thrown off horses, you're not really scared of too much. But it was something and my grandfather was a detective, so my mother was always warning me, "You're always watching it. Okay. We're always on alert."
So it's always an aware family,
and and it was that way. But it was just so different when I got into jiu-jitsu. It was something that I didn't realize till I got into jiu-jitsu, that when I walked down the street, that I was fine.
We're gonna show the movement now. So if you turn, he went like this.
Yep. And I even had a shopping bag in my hand, but I was still able to 2-on-1, turn, and back away.
Okay. As you see, she used here the self-defense from Jiu-Jitsu that you had learned.
Yeah.
And your body posture was completely posture
Straight.
up, confident as well.
Yeah.
And then you as well use the communication of, no, not with me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So Ellie has used here the self-defense from Jiu-Jitsu that she has learned.
Yeah.
The body posture, the body language that shows that she didn't want it to stay close to him, and you actually verbally saying it as well. Yeah. And as you know, like the words say much more than your intentions. The other way around. Your intentions say much more than your words.
He probably didn't understand, but from the tone of my voice, I'm sure he knew.
Yeah. And like you said, you had a friend that actually encouraged you to keep going, isn't it? Can you just tell a little bit?
So after it, I felt in myself, it's so off character. The next day, I didn't want to go out. My friend said, "Well, you have to go out for lunch." I was like, "Well, I'm going to wear baggy clothes and, I won't do my hair. I'll look disheveled, so no one will look at me." And she's like, "Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You look as nice as possible and you go out for your lunch." And she was so right, because I was fine after, I went out and I was fine, and otherwise that would have sat there longer.
Yeah.
It would have sat there longer. And I was on that path of like, you begin to label yourself as victim, and I'm not. I'm really, really lucky. I'm really, really lucky that it could have been so much worse, and it wasn't. I'm so blessed.
Yeah, because you stopped your feeling, your intuition, just like, no, not with me. Yeah. And it's so important to have a friend, a coach, or someone that have your back to say, don't back up, like don't step back. Yeah. You are much more than this, isn't it? Because how can we stop being ourselves? Because the way the world it is. Yeah. Right? Thank you, Ellie, so much. Just one last thing. If you would you like to send a phrase to this lady, a message that you want to put out there, what would you say?
To have confidence in yourself. Even if you don't think you have any proof to have confidence in yourself, have confidence in yourself, and then you will have the rewards.
Yeah. Fake until you make it. Isn't it?
It works. It works.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.